And there is Joseph Parker wanting a rematch with Anthony Joshua. And if Daniel Dubois wants to get it, he can get it too. And he is still eyeing for the Alexander Usyk fight. And let me counterpunch. Do you guys see something wrong with what Joseph Parker is saying? It might seem, on the surface, not bad. It seems, in fact, optimistic, ambitious, all that, right? But at the same time, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, Alexander Usyk, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, none of those guys are is the fighter in front of him. None of those guys' names starts with an F or a W, right? Fabio Wardley is his next opponent. And I think what people get trapped into, they get on this trail of calling out people before the job is done. They start talking about another job before completing the job that they have in front of them. The task at hand is mandatory. It's paramount. It's not Daniel Dubois. It's not Anthony Joshua. It's not Alexander Usyk. In fact, anybody that calls out Usyk at this point, I think, he could have waited, but he didn't wait. And I give him 100% full credit with that because he needs to stay busy. And I think between him and Andy Lee, his trainer, I think these guys have pretty much found a good niche, a good groove with Joseph Parker. He needs to stay busy because, he's one of those guys that he's busier with activity, like most fighters are. But we've seen him win 4 straight fights in 2023, then had a war with Zhang in 2024, right? And then 2025, he's toppled over Martin McCauley, okay? So I think he needs to focus more on Fabio Wardley. He needs to eat, sleep, meditate, train on Fabio, because Fabio's one of those guys that I think day after day, he's building his model after Deontay Wilder. And a lot of people say, hey, man, that's not really a good thing. Well, if he can land the shot, it is a very good thing. Because one thing, before Wilder got beat by Tyson Fury, he was knocking everybody out either sooner or later with just one shot, making him a dangerous one-handed champion at the time. So say what you want to about Wilder. Wilder eventually got the job done with one shot, okay? And with the same mentality, that speak it, believe it, receive it shit of Deontay, Fabio Wardley has adopted that mentality. And I think day after day, he's getting more and more dangerous because he's believing in himself more and more with that one right hand, one punch hand cannon, okay? And I feel that, Joseph Parker, he's talking about Daniel Dubois, he's talking about Anthony Joshua, and I agree. I think the Anthony Joshua rematch should have happened a long time ago, just based on the way it was refereed. It was refereed shitty. It was refereed biased. Let's just be real. Joseph Parker couldn't get on the inside because the referee was always there to stop that style of fighting for Joseph Parker. So I do agree that there is some unfinished business there. However, that is not the unfinished business that you have in front of you. Okay, it's Fabio Wardley. So you have to worry about that right hand that's constantly building confidence from a guy that believes in that punch, that knows how to land that punch. And when you land that punch, all the skill and all that goes out the window when you're laying KO'd on the canvas, or you're on Queer Street and you can't beat the count. Okay? So Joseph Parker, the ambitiousness, the eagerness, the potential and all that sounds good. But at the end of the day, he needs to be worried more about Fabio Wardley than any other fighter, because guess what? If he gets beat by Fabio, none of that other shit matters, does it? But you guys tell me what you think about Joseph Parker stating that he has unfinished business with Anthony Joshua. He wants the Dubois fight once and for all, and he wants a crack at the title against Alexander Usyk. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!